I was in the second year of graduate school when I first came across Jeremy Bentham's panopticon, the prison typology device for optimizing surveillance of maximum prisoners with minimum guards. The plan of a panopticon is typically circular, with prison cells radially occupying the periphery and the center housing a tower from which guards monitor the prisoners. Even though rotundas preceded the panopticon and contemporary prisons have evolved into newer typologies, Bentham's panopticon got me thinking about the function of design in exercising power and control in society. I dug deeper and immersed myself in the vast pool of knowledge existing around the themes of violence, punishment, surveillance, and crime, awkwardly jumping from Michel Foucault's Discipline and Punish to Shoshana Zuboff's The Age of Surveillance Capitalism. While I came out enlightened at the end of these books, knowing how the mode of punishment shifted from torture of the human body to that of the mind, and how surveillance-driven data serves capitalist enterprises for maximizing profit, I was left wondering what the current discourses in architecture are when it comes to addressing the themes of violence, crime, and justice. I am Vaishnavi Shukla, and this is Architecture Off-Center, a podcast where we highlight unconventional design perspectives, practices, and research projects that reflect emerging discourses within the design discipline and beyond. Architecture Off-Center features conversations with radical designers, thinkers, and change makers who are redefining the way we live and interact with the built environment. Season 3 positions itself as a provocation to examine the relationship of architecture with violence, crime, and justice. This season, we ask historian Robert Jan van Pelt, how do we interact with historical instruments of genocide in the contemporary world?
Very important is the interrogation of a clerk in the Gestapo office, which actually gives a lot of information about the way Crematorium 1 was used. And then we have the prosecution of the architects of Auschwitz, two of the architects in Vienna in 1970. So that already creates a kind of an unusual body of material that you're dealing with.
In our conversation with Laura Shaili Agnihotri, we talk about the nature of spaces that are conducive to those who seek alternate modes of conflict resolution and justice.
I love talking to an architect because I really do think of restorative justice. This structural space that we create in a circle is also the structure of how we land this structure in the world on solid footing in some bedrock of human connection.
When we speak to writer Jeff Maynor, we question the role of architecture and urban planning in facilitating criminal activities like burglary.
And then I started looking into, actual real-world reports of bank robberies or of pawn shops or jewelry stores being robbed. And it just became increasingly clear that, one of the things that came out in those types of news articles or news reports, again, was this focus on architecture. People were amazed that a burglary crew had cut a hole in the ceiling and dropped down into a building, or they had used the sewer system to rob a building from below, or they'd cut through a series of walls going through different stores or different homes even, in order to get to their eventual target.
With publisher and educator Natasha Moiser, we discussed the use of fictional criminal narratives as a design tool in academia.
Now try to explain, if you murder somebody and you have to carry the body downstairs, then you have to pay attention. What kind of stairs are there? Is it wood? Is it stone? Is it loud? If you, is it making noise when you carry a body? Is the handrail good enough? And so on. And then what happened is suddenly the students started paying more attention about the details.
And to criminal psychologist Pia Poloka, we ask, what is the role of technology in prison reform?
So there must be a balance between the punishment side, which is inevitable since it's a prison sentence, and the rehabilitative side, which anyway provides prisoners services during their prison sentence in order to have an effect on their risk levels, recidivism, and in order to reintegrate them back to the society.
Working on this season has been intellectually draining and rewarding at the same time, and it has been our most intensive one yet. We really hope you join us on this journey every alternate Thursday beginning next week. Special thanks to Ayushi Thakur for the research and design support, and Kahan Shah for the background score. You can follow us on Instagram at archoffcenter, and always drop in a word on our website, archoffcenter.com. That is ARCHOFFCENTRE. Thanks for listening.